Hey yo, why these T-Rexes have an attack called third leg forward and they use their tail? Alright, let's get back to the story then. Everyone's all gathered up. Seems those soldiers only appeared in Shinwezi Springs. Could they have been after the ceruleum? Seems the people of Shaloni are safe. What a relief. But Wetsuon is still safe. The animals are unsettled by recent events. The dome is absolutely massive. What manner of kingdom do you suppose is claimed within its borders? Rod and I visited the settlements west of here. Thankfully, there was no danger or casualties to speak of. I heard from Wuklamat that Estinian was here. With him to watch over them, the people of Shaloni will have naught to fear. Our esteemed Azure Dragoon will do more than his part, I'd imagine. Thanks to Estinian, there were no casualties to speak of in Shaloni. The Hitsaro were safe as well. At the very least, there were no sightings of soldiers there. What about the dome? Did you learn anything of note? It is composed of exceedingly high concentrations of lightning energy. To even touch the barrier would prove fatal. While approaching it, we must exercise all caution. And how are we supposed to get inside? If Zeraljan's army emerged from within, there ought to be an entrance. An entrance, you say? If it so happens, we might have an inkling of where one was. It's the homies. These are the engineers of Zaktaral Railing, which operates the train between Shaloni and Yasalani. We went out to recover the train. We had ourselves a look at the dome through a telescope. It was then that we saw it, a large fortress-like structure that looked like it straddled the dome's edge. They're telling us part of it is inside and part of it outside. That seemed to be the case, yes. When we only observed from afar, the soldiers were coming and going from it. From that, I'd say it serves as a passage between the outside world and whatever's inside. But as you'd expect, the area was heavily defended. It won't be easy to get near. You know what became of the passengers who went to Yasalani? Wuklamat's nursemaid was among them, a woman named Namika. What? I'm afraid not. Only those passengers who were headed back here were accounted for. I can say for a fact that everything was fine when we arrived in Yasalani. When that big tremor struck not long after we left the station, I hit the emergency brakes and looked back, and all I could see was the dome. What's more, the fortress sits right on the tracks of all places. What are the odds of that, eh? I think all I can think of now is the Thomas the Tank Engine movie where the magic railway. Assuming this fortress serves as a means to pass through the dome, we should first determine how we're to reach it undetected. I don't care if we're detected, I say we smash our way inside. Despite how it sounds, I actually gave this some thought. Zeralja wants me to prove that I'm my father's worthy successor. If I fail, he'll destroy Tuliolal. By charging in head-on, I make my intentions plain as day, and in so doing, keeps his eyes on me. A bold strategy. I like it. Of course, your plan will be no good if you're cut down before reaching their base. What you need is something that'll get you there quick and break through their defenses with a single decisive blow. We have just that. Since the tracks go straight to the fortress, we can reinforce our train with armor, load her with all the fuel she'll carry, send her hurtling at it to explode on impact. Chief, have you gone insane? You were just saying how relieved you were that the train's in one piece. And now you want to turn it into a bomb? The train's not important. Our dream was to have railroads running from coast to coast, remember? If these invaders have their way, there may not be any more railroads, let alone trains to run on them. Is that what you want? It's a sacrifice we have to make. These good folks are willing to put their lives on the line to get inside that dome and put a stop to all this. The least we can do is help them. Chief. Listen, no matter how hard things may get, no matter how many times we fall, we can always get back up. As long as we're alive, we can always build another train. So have faith and quit your complaining. What if we fall really, really hard? There's no getting back up if we're dead. No one's dying on this train. I'll see to it myself. Needless to say, this will be a one-way trip, and we'll need to jump off at the last moment if we don't want to go out in a blaze of glory. You alright with that? There's no change in her mind, is there? Just promise me you'll be careful out there, honey. We won't leave you with any sorrows to drown, never fear. Seeing as I've never had a drink in my life, I certainly hope not. It'd be a lie to say the loss of the train doesn't concern me. With good friends and my loving wife besides me, that's all I really need in the end. Well, at least it'll go down as the legendary train that saved Tyrol. That it will, but first, we've got to work to do so she'll look the part. Really hope one of the other characters goes, anyone ever else recognize them? Like we've met them before? I don't know much about Magitech, but if there's anything I can do to help, you need but say the word. We'll keep that in mind. If any of you are willing and able to lend a hand, there's work that needs to be doing all over the storehouse. Seems we have a path forward. I believe this is a good time for me to return to Tuliolol and inform Kona of the situation. I shall return as well. I have new investigations to pursue. Oh? The dome's elemental aspect is similar to that of the gate in the Golden City. If we can identify a connection, we may learn something of use in our fight. It's one mystery after the next, but at least we're not without clues. It may not be easy, but I know we can get through this together. Use this train as an explosive as a brazen plan. We'll have but one attempt, so we'd best make it count. The ships seem content to remain waiting in the sky, so let us take this opportunity to do what we can and prepare. I hope Namika is safe. Well, we have our plan. Now let's finish this train and blast our way into the dome. Even only just having met them, I can see how important the train is to Walika and his engineers. We can't let their sacrifice be for nothing. Putting plans into locomotion. While I have no objections to the plan itself, I have one concern. How can we be certain Zeralja will not strike Tuliolol in retaliation? I considered the possibility. But when my brother told me to come and prove myself, he meant it. He wants to show that his kingdom is superior to Tuliolol, and it'll give him no satisfaction to attack when he knows I'm not there. No, he'll be waiting inside the dome, waiting for us to challenge him so he can crush us and prove his strength. Indeed, if anything, we're more likely to put Tuliolol in danger by not taking the fight to him. So we indulge Zeralja at least until Tuliolol has shored up its defenses. Right, we'll charge in from the front and keep his eyes on us. during which time Kono will find a way to fortify Tuliolal. If you believe this is the best course, then we shall trust in your judgment. I expect there will be no small amount of enemy resistance, but we will do all in our power to assist you. Thank you. Well, time is of the essence. Let's go and see what's left to be done for the train. I'm gonna be real, I didn't expect shit to hit the fan. I really just expected we just go on a fun little secondary adventure with Aaronville for a while. Everyone's hard at work on the train. I can't wait to see how it turns out. Looks like work's getting underway. We'll finish in no time at all. What can we do to help? We need to hold back. As I understand it, the two of you met your fair share of craftsmen during the Rite of Succession. Would you happen to know a few who'd be willing to come and help us complete the modifications to the train? Of course. What sort of craftsmen do you have in mind? Let's see now. Perhaps my greatest concern is keeping the train safe from enemy attacks. Even with all you aboard to fend them off, it'll be over in an instant if they manage to get just one good hit on the ceruleum tanks. According to eyewitnesses, the soldiers use lightning-based weapons, so I have in mind to install grounding rods. Do you happen to know a carpenter who could handle that? Could ask the fellow with a fetish for formalities. Master Carpenter from Okano, eh? They'd be willing, we'd be glad to have them. No objections from me. Just be sure not to forget their traditional greeting. We'll need more than just a carpenter if we want this done in a timely fashion. Got a lot of equipment that needs moving. Heavy equipment. I don't suppose you know anyone up to the task. Perhaps Sir Murwar can help on that one. Mur would be perfect. He'd be hard-pressed to find folks stronger than the Yakui. I'm sure he'd be willing to help. You're friends with the Yakui? I'll be damned. Will not want for strength with help like that. Next, I'd like to outfit the train with some powerful weaponry of its own. Like as not, the soldiers will be riding their flying vessels. We'll need countermeasures to deal with them. It's true. And I, for one, can't use magic, nor am I handy with a firearm like my brother. Any ideas for ranged weapons we could use? Let's install ballistas on the trains. Big ones. Ballistas, eh? That'd be powerful. It seems to me it'd take too long to reload between shots. If there was some sort of ballista that could reload quickly, then that might work, but weapons aren't exactly my field of expertise. Perhaps I can be of assistance. The Crystarium employed etheric cannons for its defenses, and I see no reason why the design cannot be adopted for your train. While I did not conceive them myself, I know their design. It should be possible to build them here, provided we have the requisite materials and skilled smiths. Now that sounds like something Fonjantatine can help with. What are the materials we would need? The barrel can be fashioned from any metal, so long as it's highly conductive to aether. To power the cannon, will require fire aspected crystals of the highest purity. Fire crystals, eh? Might be as the miners over the springs can help with that. Then if I could leave the crystals and smiths in everyone's hands, I shall get started drawing up the schematics. Right then, I'll secure us the smiths. In the meantime, could you deal with the materials? Shenza's in charge of our supplies, so it might be good to talk to him about it first. Well, I think we're set for a plan. Thanks for the consultation. Let's get this train dressed up and give her the proper farewell she deserves. Yeah, the plan's coming together. Make good speed. I'm going to try and enlist some help from among our friends back in Dawntrail. I'll leave the materials in your care. I think I shall send over to the southeast. Alright. I don't have to go running around in the entirety of Tyrol to go gather all of our allies, so that's good. Leave that one up to our good friend Uklamat. It's a shame Sid and his engineers aren't here to help. If they were here, I expect they'd turn it into a flying train. Yeah, Sid would get this thing airborne. Shinza's giving me a list of materials. We'll see to it that they had everything they need. Right, time to put my knowledge gained in the first to use. We're gonna need cannons. Big ones. Rojav's forces have been quiet for now. If there's any movement, I'll alert everyone immediately. Should be enough lumber for the armor. What else do we need? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. What can I do for you? Need assistance with materials? Etheric cannons. Interesting. I have an idea where we can get the conductive materials, so I'll take care of it. I'm not sure about the fire crystals, though. Might be best if you spoke directly with a miner. Can I leave that to you? Got it. Great. You're friends with Liate, aren't you? One of the best miners around. If anyone gets you the crystals you're after, it's her. Let's go see Liate, then. Let's head back to town. Anyway, what brings you around these parts? Still working on that dome situation. Purest fire crystals, you say? I think I heard tell about them before, but what was it about? A hot commodity. Now I remember Cerulean Analas. You can find them to the south of town. They usually actually ingest fire crystals and keep them in their gut, if you can believe it. You want the purest crystals, though, you'll have to go after the oldest, toughest Analas. Nothing you can't handle, right? I'll show you where you can find some to hunt. Looking forward to seeing why Arenville thinks so highly of you. I get to show you how these two blades work. Learned how to use them from the god of war himself. Really? Yeah, he's an awful teacher. Quite a lot of fiery wildlife in these parts. We think it's due to the cerulean, but no one can say for sure. Still, it's not often you see the bigger dominating sort, and that's what you need. What you'll have to do is hunt down a few of their kind, establish yourself as a threat. That's known to draw out the leader. I'm pretty good at that, actually. That's the spirit. While you're on the hunt, I'll keep watching nearby to make sure no hapless travelers come stumbling in. Alright, let's go start beating shit up. See no signs of your prey. Perhaps you'll have better luck in the south. Ah. Looks like we got it. taken from the belly of a beast. Amazing, you dealt with the beasts in no time at all. Need the crystals delivered to Shenza? I'll see that he gets it. Fire crystals are for the train, aren't they? Heard about your plans to enter the dome. I want to thank you for going to such lengths to stop these invaders. And though he'd grumble if he knew I was asking this, please take care of Ellen Shepya. Anyway, best be on my way. And you as well. In case you're going to meet her, I saw Wuklamot heading for the station. Okay, back to the station than it is with me. Getting the movement speed unlocked was such a good idea. That was very worth. We might do that first next time. In the next two zones we get to, the first thing we might do is get the 6 fates done for the movement speed. Taking care of the crystals, have you? Let's proceed apace here too. Shenza told me you got the crystals for him? Good work. Just returned for looking up for extra help. See in a moment who answers the call. I'll be in readiness for them when they arrive. Damn it. I'm idle for a moment and all I can think about is my home. Keep your chin up, Erenvelt. We'll be on our way soon and we'll find your mother. It'll be good to have her after all these years. There's so much I'd like to ask her for her time together with Papa. Or she'll talk your ears off. Once my mother starts, there's no stopping her. I wouldn't want it any other way. Right, let's return to helping where we can. The real work begins when the extra hands arrive. Boom, 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 boom. Thanks for making the trek here. To be honest, I wasn't expecting so many of you. Since the attack on Tuliolo, I've been wondering if there was aught I could do to help. So when I heard about the upcoming operation from Valcona, I leapt at the chance to do my part. Peace will be restored and then we can all enjoy a nice cup of mezcal. This is our home and we'll do whatever it takes to keep it safe. While I assist with the efforts here, High Luminary Gerfurler does the same at the capital. I'm truly grateful. With all of us working together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Let's get to it, my friends. Off she goes. Yes, let's get to it. We got all the homies together. Alright, everyone. That'll do. Done your part. Leave it to us to finish mounting the armor and cannons. Have yourselves a hard-earned rest. Thank you all again for answering the call. No need for thanks now. Whenever you need help, just give us a holler. Indeed, we must all do our part when our nation is imperiled. Here, here. We love Tyrol and we love you, Val Wuklamat. Love you all too. Your kindness and goodwill will not be in vain. This I promise. Thanks again for all your help. Wouldn't have been able to finish so quickly without you. Go and rest up, friend. Won't be long before the train's ready. All aboard! Despite his fatigue, there's an undeniable air of satisfaction about Walika. From here on out, we won't be stopped working until the train's ready. If you have any preparations, now would be a good time to see to them. The boarding call will come before you know it. It would appear, everything I can tell, we have done all of it. Hang on, let's give it a fair second. Let's see if these maniacs can actually get the Serpent Lord to spawn. If it is, we make a quick detour and then we run over to there. Yeah, I don't see any Serpent Lord. Alright. Wait for the engineers to finish working on the train? Yes.
Right, we're just about done with the modifications, but I have to stress that we cannot afford a test run.
It's fine. We understand and accept the risks. We have faith in you and your craft. I'm sure everything will go to plan. With all the hard work everyone's put in, it couldn't be otherwise.
Who was that? Nodders.
Finished at last!
The fucking bull's head on the front.
Behold, the pinnacle of locomotive engineering, the Dawn Blazer.
Amazing!
You know, when I said I wanted to ride the train, I didn't think it was going to be a battle train.
Armor and a crystal grounding rod to mitigate the effects of lightning. Naturally, we had to overhaul the engine so it could handle the extra weight.
I also had her outfitted with the ferric cannons, the better to contend with enemy forces. And as they're modelled upon those used at the Crystarium, I can attest to their potency.
So, what do you reckon? Given the tight turnaround, I'd say we did a damn good job.
All things considered. This is the toughest locomotive I've ever seen. It's a real shame we have to blow her up.
Glad she's to your liking. I hate to let go of such a beautiful piece of machinery, but I know you'll give her a proper send-off for us.
At the risk of spoiling the mood, we should probably get moving.
Probably smart.
Yep. You won't get far if you let them pummel you from the air, but you'll be safe enough once you reach the tunnel.
In that case, I will conceal the train with a spell once everyone is on board. It should last long enough for us to reach the tunnel unnoticed.
Right. So everyone, are we ready?
Let's fuck him up.
We've done all we can. Rest is up to you.
I won't let you down. All aboard!
The Dawn Blazer.
Vanish.
At this speed, we should arrive at the dome in no time at all.
But not before we're spotted, I expect. Stay alert!
Here we go. Stand fast, everyone.
Well, we know the lightning rods work at least. Yeehaw! Now that's some grade A firepower.
No, you don't.
They switched to firearms!
Oh dear.
Raha, jump!
Oh. Nice shot.
Erinville, I need you to take over for me.
Just batting the bullets away with her axe. Your flying's bad and you should feel bad. I guess.
End of the line, everyone!
Tuck and roll. That was pretty fucking cool. Shame about the train, but that was pretty fucking cool. Well, looks like the door's open.
Oh, that was too close.
Everyone all right?
Still alive, Aaronville?
Mostly.
No, everyone's accounted for.
At last, the enemy stronghold. We should hurry before they can regroup.
Let's go and find out what's inside.
Oh, and a big ass fortress to blow up. Vanguard is now accessible. New dungeon. So is this a level 96 dungeon then? No, level 97. Requirements have not been met. We need a little bit of EXP. What's it saying here? Zeralja retreats to the dome in Yasolani, but not before laying siege to his home and slaying his own father. This foul deed cannot go unpunished, and so Wuklamat lays plans to pierce the dome and pursue him. To that end, the engineers of Zoctaral Railing refit their cerulean-powered train christened the Dawnblazer. After avoiding fire from Zeralja's forces, successfully send it careening into the fortress, bridging the dome with the outside world. The path forward now open. The battle for Tuliolol begins as you and your companions take your first bold steps into enemy territory. Oh, it still requires you to have a certain level for it. Alright, hang on a second then. We need to switch classes. We're gonna have to do some feat famine. Who is capable of doing this then? The only class at 97 is Samurai, it looks like. I guess that's how we're going in. Vanguard awaits.
Let's give it our all.
Have we ever really used
I won't let you
cryo?
down.
Let's go then. Register for duty. Since we don't have a tank leveled up, we'll use Samurai for this. We'll use the duty system. Oh, it seems they've come out to defend the entrance then. That's quite a few of them. Good. My blade was getting a little tired. Vanguard is under attack. Vanguard is under attack. All units prepare for battle. You're gonna need more than all your units. The soundtrack in here is pretty rad.
Try this.
I wonder what the gear from in here is gonna look like. Am I fighting this one by myself? It appears so. He's got a lot of health. Alright, we're through. Seems they built around the train tracks. Our 7th sentries, prepare to engage. Okay, you missed. Bro, just heal me. Vanguard Commander R8, huh? Like is red. It means this bike goes faster than the other one, though. Oh, I see. Ah, okay. Combat efficiency exceeds expected parameters requesting reinforcements. You're gonna need a lot more than that, bud. You're gonna need a lot more than that. A neat little fight. I like this one. Oh well. I didn't see that part. Oh, come on. Alright, well, we didn't die to that this time.
Just the beginning.
No, whoops. Come on. Didn't even see those guys spawn. There we go. What do we get? Vanguard Mask of Striking. Can I even see this? Oh, you actually can wear this piece. Oh, that's kind of sick. And it's dyeable. I feel like we're gonna want to get this shit. This is pretty cool looking. Oh, we finally replaced that void mood hood. I don't even know if we can use that. Had that for a long time. Sure can't. Alright, yeah, we'll play around with dyeing that later. It does look really cool though. Engaging defense oh! That's what they meant by engaging defense turrets. Alright, so we're making it inside at least. They love their LEDs, don't they? Oh, those are slick. I like those. Those are slick. Place keeps getting stranger and straighter. Oh yeah, I forgot. You guys don't get around as much as I do. It's strange that it's here, but I've seen this before. Really? About 11 times, as a matter of fact. Played a lot of Halo. Also got a distinct Mass Effect feel as well. Oh, right. I was like, what the hell was that? It's the bite attack. They have that unlocked on Pictomancer nowadays. Oh. Out of the middle of the room. Alright. Where the hell is this hallway gonna take us? Oh. These look vaguely familiar. I may or may not be pissing people off in Mythic Plus right now, and I'm here for it. Dude, hell yeah. Are they mad because you're making Demon Hunter functional? Which in that case, seep harder. Stay mad. Making a right turn here. Oh. That's quite large. I'm using my Demon Hunter and an Azure Vault as a tank at 450k overall. Good God. Yo, these are slick. I like these. These are looking real nice. I like the purple. I'm glad I didn't hold. I held out. All right, what is this monstrosity? The Protector. Quite large machine. A hunk of metal for the scrap pile. This person was a Rep Paladin with the legendary at 385. Wow. Are they just not as geared as you, or do they just not understand the class changes or anything? Okay, that is definitely a set of mechanics. Wow. Oh, I see what he's done. All I said was strong. Demon Hunter strong. Initiating Raise Protocol. I think I did that right. I didn't get a Vuln stack and I didn't die. Oh, yikes. Yeah, we found a new dungeon, and it's got some interesting mechanics so far. What's this attack again? Alright, cool. First try on the second boss. Back to the scrap heap with you. Oh, those are neat. Shame I'm not playing anything with maiming. I'll probably keep those though. Power the crossbridge and release the beasts. I can stop them there. Whoa! The hell did they just unleash on us? That authoritative voice gives me an idea where this might be going story-wise. I think Zoralja's played another world to take a damn fiddle. Okay, he's gonna get cut, sliced in half with my really, really sharp katana. Because that's the class that happens to be leveled up at the moment. I imagine we have to getting close. They're not too happy with the fact we're making so much progress. Alright. Cool. Inking bracelets. Almost at the end of this. Do we send any more mooks at me at this point? It hasn't worked the first 30 times you've tried it. Why would you think another set of them are going to do anything different this time? Brushed our defenses aside like they were nothing. They simply walked in the front door. How is this possible? message coming over the comms. Keeps repeating the same message. Regret, regret, regret. Dear Eorzea, we regret coming to Earth. We regret being alien bastards. And we most certainly regret we just blew a hole through the middle of Tulliola. Hoorah! Such a serious breach should be allowed, but it ends now. Ophidian Outriders, Xander the Snake Skinner. Redeem our honor with your lives. Oh. Zeralja will have your head in the pike? I'd like to see him try. They say all men are created equal, but I want you to look at his HP, and I want you to look at the last two bosses' HP, and I can tell you that that is not true. You walk into the ring with me, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. Me, I have a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning. Why do you have so little health? Who ripped through your ass? Something's not right here. This guy has way too few health. That was no resurrection magic. Oh! What was that? Something like the chimeras of Allag. Sure isn't. Oh, don't stand on that.
Hold on.
Okay, so the fact that they used recolors of the Ronkin gear in the previous dungeon and the way things have been set up so far has me, I'm dead. Really considering that this is a other version of the great city of Ronka from the first. I'm wondering if they're just going to tie into that, because that'd be really interesting. I ended up at 3 Vuln stacks. I did a lot wrong there, huh? It's definitely a neat mechanic for sure.
This should do it!
Alright, we beat him. Big snake man. I'm getting great Serpent of Ronka vibes out of this. Just a hunch. Just a hunch. Easy peasy. There's Alizé. We also got earrings. We got gloves in here too, which is nice. That's pretty nice. A pair of gloves. What else did we get? Pugilist weapon. It is the pugilist weapon. Oh, those are kind of sick, actually. All right, we beat Vanguard. That was a little rough.
What greeted us was not the home that I had left behind. There was no mistaking we had reached Yassulani, and yet it was wholly unlike my memories. The lands of my childhood had changed beyond imagining.
What the hell?
To where had I returned? We tread on, the darkened skies above a mirror to my heart, clouded with fear and uncertainty.
How bizarre.
Well, considering that big thing in the middle there, we probably need to get rid of. I'd say our work is cut out for us already.
This cannot be Yassulani, can it?
What the hell is all that? I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. What happened here? Well, it's a lot, apparently. This is Yassulani? No sensation of passing into a different world. This couldn't be a reflection. Would it? I was prepared for something strange, but this, it's like another world. I don't understand. We can now do trusts in Vanguard. The Land of 11. We found our next region. It doesn't make sense. The tower. Was it always there? No, definitely not. Nor the wall over there. Material's not something we use in Tyrol. It's closer to what we saw at the gate to the Golden City. Or those mechanical soldiers. It's a massive structure. Couldn't possibly have been built in so short a time. I'm inclined to assume we've been transported to another location. Or perhaps... Well, speculation will avail us naught. We need to learn more before we can draw conclusions. Let's take a look around then. Hmm. It's interesting that the train bridge was left mostly intact. The axe beaks? Some interesting fucking dinosaurs out here, huh? Yeah, we've hit 97, so we're gonna have to catch up some classes here soon. This place is unnatural in a way I've never seen before. This place is isolated by the dome, yet the skies are heavy with thunderclouds. The air oversaturated with lightning-aspected aether. I recognize the lay of the land. It's definitely Yassilani, and yet I haven't seen anyone so far. Looks like a train station, doesn't it? It must be Yassilani Station, where the passengers disembarked. Perhaps we'll find someone there to talk to there. Let's go and investigate. I wonder why it's called Heritage Found. What's the weather condition here called? Umbral static. Hang on. Aetherite is of Tirali design. Sure is. You can attune to it too. Interesting. It's fallen into total disrepair, almost as if it hasn't been used in decades. Something's not right. Amidst enormous alien structures, we have more familiar sites like this station. Hey look, an aether current. It's a water tower for trains, isn't it? Sure is. Very peculiar situation. There's no one here. In fact, it doesn't look like there's been anyone here for almost a century. Maybe longer. How can you tell? Look at the wood. It's deteriorated beyond all disrepair and been completely taken over by the natural vegetation. I'm pretty sure this is Yassilani Station. From the state of it, I'd swear it was abandoned years ago. Not sure what to make of this. We should look around a bit more. The building is a rotting husk. It's clearly been many years since anyone lived here. Tracks are heavily rusted. It seems they haven't been tended to for a long while. find a train turntable. The thick layers of rust suggest it hasn't been used in years. Well, what's this? Just poking around, have you? Let's gather everyone then. I want you all to take a look at this. It's one of the mechanical soldiers. Long since broken, apparently. I'd say its presence confirms this is indeed Zeralja's domain we're in. What about the rest of you? Did you learn anything? So all evidence suggests this is Yassulani Station. Aye, and I've no doubt we're in Yassulani, but I don't understand why these buildings are so run down. They were completed barely a year ago. For new structures to deteriorate and enormous ones to appear in a flash. If I didn't know any better, I'd say time flows differently here. Is such a thing even possible? Actually, yes. We've encountered this phenomenon before, as it so happens. It may be difficult to believe our world is but one of several. In some respects, they are similar to one another, but in others, wholly different. We call them reflections. Simply put, the rift between dimensions causes time to flow at a different pace in each world. While hours pass in one, years may have come and gone in another. If this is Yassulani, then we should still be in the source. The flow of time should be synchronized. I'm not sure I follow all this talk of reflections in dimensions. If Varenville says this is Yassulani, then it must be. The village is a little further along, right? Aaronville. Oh, yes, it's a short distance to the northwest. Let's head there next, then. Rather than talk theory, it's always better to confirm things firsthand. May I be of assistance? It's still functioning. Doesn't seem to be hostile, at least. Perhaps we can ask it some questions. Can you tell us where we are? Unable to confirm credentials. Please present citizen identification. Unable to confirm credentials. Confirm. No. Seems it's broken after all. Too strange by half. Let's leave it be and get going. Are those lightning rods? Could you accompany me for a moment? There's something I wish to investigate. I just had the best insult I have ever read said in a Mythic Plus right now. Oh no. Is it safe to post in chat? Couldn't suck a dick even if it was in your mouth. Holy shit. That one's really good. That one's really good. Look there, the lightning appears to be drawn to those pole-shaped structures over yonder. Design suggests there's some manner of lightning rod. Let's go and take a closer look. Whoa, what the hell are these things? Sonic enemies? They followed it up with, I bet you eat ass wrong. Oh my god. That's a hello 911. I'd like to report a murder. Good God. Someone just got absolutely eviscerated. This material appears to be the same that is used as in mechanical soldiers and warships. On closer inspection, it appears to bear fine etchings. Rather reminiscent of arcane runes, these. I suspect they're not merely decorative. I would posit it's used to harness lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive technology. I'll share this observation with Y'shtola. For a blessing, the dome doesn't appear to interfere with link pearls. Thanks for accompanying me. Let's head to the village and find the others. All I said was, well, okay then. Yeah, you got... That is a powerful, powerful aura that person carries. Good lord. They have some of the strongest possible insults I've ever seen. Stay vigilant. Oh, Aaronville. No sign of anyone. This is Aaronville's village. Even talking to me, I was just taken aback by what they said. What in the world?
My home. It's in ruins. But why? What happened here? And where is everyone?
Where's anyone?
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Damn it all. None of this makes sense.
Excuse me? Are you looking for someone?
Oh. Haven't I seen you before?
I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows.
I mean, we did just blow a hole through that entire fortress blocking the front door. It was 100% one of those moments where I was like, oh, I'm gonna go over there.
Sorolcha has told me a great deal about you.
Sorolcha?
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria. I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Okay.
Queen of Reason? If you are the Queen of Reason, is there perhaps a...
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve. Zorulja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Then you are both behind the attack on Tuliyola.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception.
No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight. Zorulja rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I. It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
Our aid? I'll admit I cannot imagine King Zorolja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the queen.
Indeed. But I was once the sole ruler of Alexandria. Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it. A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
If I may, the dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yasolani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you come from? And what happened to the people who lived here? You must know!
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself. What I can say is that one day, people from your Tuliolol suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliolol. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barrier surrounding our realm.
Does this not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the first.
Right.
Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope.
There's a distinct possibility that what's happening is a potential rejoining, which is a really, 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 really bad thing.
In which case, a closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shatona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong. Besides...
You're right.
Queen Sphene, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tuliolol?
Noble Wook Lamart, shall we dispense with the formalities? I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zoralja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tuliolal.
So he alone is to blame.
No, I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
Perhaps. I know next to nothing about you, let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot from meeting your people.
Wonderful. If you would follow me.
A little odd for the queen to be walking about in her lonesome.
Is that concern or suspicion?
A little of both. A little column A, a little column B. I've worked with enough royalty before to know that no queen walks without an escort, even if it's only one person.
If things should take a turn for the worse, might I call upon your aid? I jest, of course, but you do strike me as the most capable here.
Fair. I'm interested where this goes at this point. There's a couple different situations that could be happening here. I think it goes without saying, but we're not going to trust her just like that, right? The way you look at it, a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere proclaiming herself a queen is suspicious. You're not wrong. The 8th Umbral Calamity has been added to our codex. There it is. Yeah, because this technically didn't happen in our timeline. This happened where Graha came from. In his memory is what led to the first, but we averted this situation. The source has been visited by 7 cataclysmic events known as Umbral Calamities. The first of these was the Calamity of Wind, followed by the Calamity of Lightning, Fire, Earth, Ice, Water, and finally the Calamity of Darkness. While these disasters may seem the logical consequence of conflict or natural phenomenon, they could not in truth have occurred without a massive disruption of the ethereal equilibrium of a reflection world. When a reflection's balance shifts drastically towards a single aspect, the heightened elemental energies seep into the source, much as water flows from higher to lower ground. An influx of fire aspected aether might cause extended droughts, for example, while ice could result in widespread drop in temperature. These anomalies become increasingly common until a final great catastrophe breaks down the barrier between the two worlds. In that moment, all the aether which comprises the reflection floods into the source, and the catastrophe swells into a full-fledged umbral calamity. Though it did not take place within our present timeline, the 8th Umbral Calamity's origin can be tracked back to the first, where the power of light was ascendant. Even as the luminous excess bled into the source, the Garlean Empire launched its black rose upon the battlefield, and the deadly gas, itself a weapon of a light-based nature, was amplified far beyond its expected potency. It spread over a vast area, halting the circulation of aether, killing every living being with which it came into contact. The aether currents themselves were stilled, and the repercussions of the stagnation rippled throughout the environment. The Alliance leaders and scions who had gathered to fight the Imperial armies were slain where they stood. Thus began an age of unending war. Order broke down, violence ran rampant, and all fought in the savage battle for survival. In the midst of civilization's collapse, it was Cid and his Garland Ironwork stalwarts who led the development of an ambitious and far-reaching plan. Founded upon the knowledge they had gleaned in the preceding years, the group set out to create a reality in which the 8th Umbral Calamity never happened, to build a past in which the calamity was prevented. and ensure that the fallen heroes survived into the future. The engineers and their collaborators toiled for generations, devoting their lives and the lives of their descendants to beginning this mad scheme to fruition. Finally, after decades of preparation, they succeeded in transporting the reawoken Crystal Tower backwards through the years and into the world of the First. Many adventures and misadventures later, darkness was restored to the Yelling Reflection, and the 8th Umbral Calamity was averted. None who live today bore witness to this tragedy, nor the great effort which went into the making of this miracle possible. None will ever know who their saviors were, nor the thoughts and fears which drove them. None will ever know if their bleak future was erased by the changing of history, or if it endures in a fork of time's eternal river. Here and now, their hopes for the world are evident only in the continued survival of those that gave everything to save. Alize intends to keep a close eye on the Queen. Well, having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. Let's head to this place, the outskirts, and see what we can learn, perhaps about Sphene as well. Where are we headed? A little further inward, it looks like. Relieved to see people here are well, at least. The innovations of Alexandria are nothing short of extraordinary. Those brick buildings. I've seen their like before, though I cannot remember where. Most unusual farm. Produce appears normal enough. I've seen such strange contraptions. I wonder what this one is used for. I trust you have similar farming facilities in Tyrol? They're completely different from ours. I've got no idea what all those machines do. We settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Tyroli have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing. But the environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electro what? Electrope. It's a material we use for myriad devices and applications. A topic for another time, perhaps. If you would follow me, we're nearly to the outskirts. So it's possible that in the advent of all this, that the people who were here in Yassolani are probably alright. But who knows how much time has passed? Oh, you have an interest in our farmland? I'll tell you everything you want to know. What about yourself? Well, you want to know about me? There's not much to tell, but I'm Yapachana. Always had a fondness for growing things, and I've gotten quite good at cooking various types of produce. I can also tell how fresh vegetables are just by looking at them. This is Yupei's Halo, an important part of life here in the outskirts. I work alongside Slachi, who runs the place, and we cultivate a variety of vegetables here. With the help of electrope technology, we make the most of what the land has to offer. Support those who call this place home. We also grow produce inside Everkeep, but it's not the same as the plants originally from Tyrol. This farmland is mainly used for cultivating Tyroli vegetables using traditional methods. Honestly, couldn't ask for a better job. Fresh air, and I get to spend most of my day with these darling Ronique. A rather lively settlement, isn't it? It defines this ceaseless gloom almost. It's a relief to see the people here are well. Hopefully the same can be said for everyone in Yassolani. It's fascinating how they've combined traditional bricklaying with electrope-based engineering. A curious blending of two cultures. I'll admit, I've seen nothing particularly suspicious yet. It's the Tawantin village, or at least it was, before the dome and these strange contraptions.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Queen's Fiend? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The Queen has come!
You look well, Paquine. And Katonye, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Namachi.
Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve Wuk-Lamat and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true then. Wuk-Lamat is still so young. Where are my manners? I am Papone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawautan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa?
Kafkiwa? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasolani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Papone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years?
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself.
Because he wouldn't have known that 30 years didn't pass where we are. That's why he said that.
Years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
You suppose time is still passing faster in here then?
I was able to make contact with Y'shtola not long ago via link pearl, so that shouldn't be cause for concern.
So then once they're linked to the source in some way, once that stabilizes the time discrepancy, so time wouldn't flow any differently here, just like how it no longer flows rapidly in the first. Interesting.
And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sveen, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
Even if I don't understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zoralja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
We have a serious situation here, and I don't think anyone else has caught on to it yet. If they dropped this section of their world into ours,
but I trust
it's effectively working as like a straight up just like drop in, like it's like a small version of a rejoining, which means the rest of their world is still out there somewhere. And that would almost work like a magnet. They'd be constantly trying to do this because it's gonna be like, where's the rest of me? And it's be like, yo, what the hell? I don't think Zorolja realizes how much danger he's put the entire world in with this. Let alone just this region. Oh, hang on. There's another 8th right behind us. Let's grab that while we're here. They don't have a Skywatcher, they have a forecast terminal. Thank you for accessing the forecast terminal. Acquiring meteorological data. It's just, this is the only weather forecast we're gonna see here. Don't recommend you go strolling around outside. If the lightning doesn't get you, the beasts will. You know what this kind of reminds me of? I was watching Smokeloke at one point, and there was a region in Final Fantasy X, I think it was? That it's just all lightning and you fight like a secret boss there. Sorry, I'm a little busy. I must organize these resources before they can be traded in Everkeep. Oh, it's like a little skiff rider. Welcome to the outskirts. We don't have much to offer, but make yourself at home. Name's Willikwe. Wahakwi, and I've lived in Yasulani since before that whole hullabaloo all those years ago. Make my way raising livestock, but I hurt my back while carrying a bag of feed. These days, I spend more time looking after myself than the animals. Well, as the name implies, the outskirts is just what we call the land outside of Everkeep. I suppose we only started calling it that after the dome appeared. It's home to folks who just want to live off the land, folks like me. Having said that, things sure have changed over the years. Now we got all kinds of new technology, for better or worse. Still haven't explained the little, like, headpiece things everybody's got. You sell new bait, finally? No, it's still not new bait. Where's the rest of this bait come from? See any Oglops out there, be sure to let me know. You wouldn't believe the trouble they can cause. And they've all got the recolor armor of the Ronkin gear on too, so that definitely lines up. And we have found what the Golden City leads to, that's for sure. I've got a few more things to look at before we go find out what everybody else is doing. Used for research purposes, I simply cannot stand being out here. With all the lightning and whatnot, only a fool would choose to live in a place like this. Yeah, there's some serious problems going on here. Look, I'm going to preface this. I am not going to be absorbing a bunch of lightning elementals into my body this time. We did that with the light thing, and I almost died a horrible, painful death. Lightning sounds significantly worse than absorbing the light. Growing farmlands with the queen of another nation is not how I expected to spend my day. Electrope has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. The people wanted to preserve their own way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. We went to such lengths so that our cultures could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Tirali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. The mutual respect, understanding, and patience we Alexandrians and Tirali have learned a great deal from one another. And I'm sure there is much you wish to learn as well, so please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. There's a quick travel here? Hang on. Oh no, it's the gemstone. I was like, what? We can quick travel back? royal leather sofa. Lounge like a royalty on this plush leather 3-seater. Advisors and attendants not included. Interesting. I'm gonna go back into that dungeon still and get the rest of that stuff too. Let's go a little further into this and see what's happening here. And then bored with lengthy explanations, let's head back to the farm we passed earlier. Yupe's Halo, it's called. You can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to Yupe's Halo. We are feeling a great deal from the workers here. Let me introduce you to Muhuasa, one of our most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen's Fiend, to what do I owe the sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I've come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, so I invited them to see how our crops are grown. I do hope that's alright. The rumors of visitors from the outside were true. What manner of hosts would we be to deny them a look around? I gather your majesty also intended to check on things here? You know me too well. I thought to seize the opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions, though I do enjoy observing and taking part in the work, too. It would appear we have her permission, so please, walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go on ahead, I'll keep Sphene company. Don't misunderstand, I'm not the suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? A fair point. But be sure to not let me get out of your sight. Remain under Wukmoat's watchful eye. Pray, come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. Okay. Duties here are quite varied despite being a merely farmer. We all have to do our part if we're to prosper. Okay. I haven't seen side quests pop up, so I'm not inclined to pause this just yet and then go back and get everything leveled up to catch up here and do what we need to do before we move on. So, let's take a look around. Light levels appear to be fine. As for power source. Well, you wish to know about my job. I tended the fields mostly, watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I fully understood how best to carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. Land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work. But honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. Enoch. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site, then? Visiting, actually. Well, this here's the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground, much more spacious, and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. The parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electrope complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. Work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. Huh. They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier. That true? So it is, which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. Setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of the livestock. Here at Yupe's Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy. I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job's a job. Well, I need to get back to it, but it was nice talking to you. Please give my regards to the Queen. The Queen. Growing potatoes? Not squash. Oh, looks like squash and yams. And then corn! Perhaps our friend the corn servant made his way here? I will say the seemingly constant lightning definitely is cause for concern. Would hope Y'shtola is looking into that. This is the apparatus used to deliver vegetables. As we can't leave them outside for too long, we use an automated system to send them through underground conduits. It's a shame Kona's not here to see all these bizarre contraptions. I see. Don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to not notice your return. I gather you've had your fill to speak with the farmers? Then let us return to Musa. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? Electrope's quite impressive. So what was the electrope that caught your eye? It's only natural, I suppose, if you've come from a place without it. Still, you only seem mildly impressed. This leads me to believe you have experience with even more marvelous technology. I'd love to hear your tales one day. Yeah, this is, not unlike what I saw with the Omicrons, actually. What did you think of our little tour, Lemity? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name, and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. Machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The feeling is understandable. Indeed, many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's the system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up how? You don't worry, my queen, it happens fairly often. But simply, it's taken in water that has had strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy and they're releasing it in the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg of the army. We could take care of it if you'd like. It's most gracious of you to offer, but it is much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble for the vow of resolve of Tuliolol. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. Dandy is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. Very well, I gratefully accept, but please, take all care. That's a little lightning. How bad could it be? You're back. Your hair is standing straight on end. Yeah, it didn't account for the lightning, but we got it taken care of. So it'll go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting. Boom, boom, boom. It would seem that the majority of the populace may not even be aware of Zeralja's invasion, or his, illusions of conquest. Oh shit, Chad, it's a river. You know what? Hang on, how many fishing spots are we gonna have here? At least 4. We know at least one of them is right around town. We got a bit to take a look at here then. Hi, Kami. Alright, that's taken care of. I can't walk under the bridge. Why? I wonder if the two sides of the river are two different watering holes? Doesn't seem to be the case, but perhaps it is. Alright, well, that should take care of that. Oh, you're both alright, thank goodness. Really shouldn't need to have worried so much. I barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course, I was worried. You're my dear guests. But thank you. We truly appreciate this. Indeed, with this, we won't have to ask Zeralja's machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Sphene. That's enough, Muasa. If you have any grievances, I will hear them later. But to speak of the king now... No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folk here are delightful, and it was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. And you never fail to let us know, or how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. seem a good sort, Sphene, that I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard from the enemy queen just yet. For you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. The ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now, I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Well, we're now level 98. And we have some side quests. Alright, so that means we can swap over. That means it's also time to call this zone a pause for a moment. Let's pump the brakes on this zone. We need to get caught up on a few things.